In Mark's gospel, the disciples are always getting it wrong. And one of the points of that is to help instruct us. But oftentimes I feel like the disciples have a bit of a hard go with Jesus, because what is he talking about? The leaven of the Pharisees, the leaven of Herod, what is that about? But I think what will help us to understand is that Jesus uses leaven in another place in a parable that he couples with the parable of the mustard seed. That is, that which is small and causes something to grow big, kind of orders it and organizes it. And if we think about what leaven does to bread, it's the thing that actually makes the bread to be the bread, right? You have the substance, like the matter, but it is really the thing that when you put it in and then bake it, it's what makes it into bread. So it is like the seed in that way, the organizing principle, the thing that puts it all together. So I think what Jesus is saying here is that the organizing principle of the Pharisees and of Herod is wrong, is disordered, is twisted, and so he's counseling them to be very careful against that. And I think this is very instructive for us. And obviously, he's talking about religion here, how they go about their worship of God or their serving of God. And to put it crassly, the Pharisees sort of reduce the religion of Israel to morality, basically, to following the precepts of the law. And Herod and the Herodians reduce it to politics, essentially. Religion is morality, or religion is politics. If this is the ordering principle inside that orders our actions and orders our attitude toward God, then we're in a very problematic place. And as he puts it here, like leaven can spread, so it spreads to other places and disorders other places. So what is it for Jesus? What is the central ordering principle in the teaching of Jesus? How should we organize our religion? Well, we know what it is. It's love of God and love of neighbor. Jesus is the first one to make love the central virtue. Balthasar calls love the form of the Christian life, that which orders or should order everything, our love of God. And love is really the only motivation that should stand in the Christian life. It's the only thing that actually brings merit, as they used to say in the old days. And so it's love that should motivate all of our actions, everything. It should be the ordering principle. And of course, we see that in the life of Jesus. Everything that Jesus does, from the moment of the incarnation until his glorious ascension into heaven, is defined by his love for humanity. For God so loved the world. And tomorrow we begin Lent, and we are called upon by the church to engage in practices of prayer, fasting, and almsgiving. But I think this principle should be what informs all of that. And again, we go back to Jesus. What drove Jesus into the desert for 40 days? Love. What allowed him to overcome temptation? Love. What drove him to teach the masses and try to impart the wisdom of God? Well, his love for them, and healing out of love, and his suffering out of love, and his dying out of love. That was what pushed him and drove him the whole time. His love for the Father and his love for us. And love is also sort of a cause of other virtues. It becomes the fountain from which the other virtues grow, like humility, generosity, courage, even justice, is a fruit of love. So we should, as we begin Lent, try to ground all of our practices in our love for God. That's why we fast. That's why we pray and seek his presence. That's why we should give alms and serve the poor, out of our love for him who loved us first. So we ask for that grace today of a deeper love for the Lord, and let that inform and order all of our lives.